you? My name is Anna Timbenzel. Welcome back to my channel. We are going through this LeetCode problem set and we are on question number 56, the merged intervals. You guys are more than welcome to read this question on your own time, and the solution is in Python. But before we jump in, if you watched the last video, you know I did try to record this live when I was traveling for 3 weeks. However, the only time I really had was in the middle of the day or the beginning of the day before these horse auctions started. So I'm going to show you guys a quick clip of me trying to do this question and a horse getting loose in the background. And I want you guys to keep in mind that the audio of this got super messed up, and it was super messed up for a lot of my videos for some reason. I was trying to configure my laptop a certain way, and it ended up by just getting a really bad echo. So if you can bear with the audio, enjoy this next clip. That was something. Anyway, long story, I ended up by just doing a lot of these questions during the day, like I said, in the early part of the day. So these next kind of couple questions are just going to be recaps of the breakdowns of these answers. So let's go ahead and jump into the submission. I did this on the same day as I did 55. And I did a lot better on this, and I don't know if because 55 was my warm-up and then this was fine, but for runtime I got over 89%, like beating 89% of users, and then for memory I beat over 67%. So I feel pretty good about this particular result. So let's go ahead and break down this code set. So I'm going to go over here, and like I said, you guys are more than welcome to read this question on your own time, but I'm just going to jump right in. So we're starting here with this if not intervals return an open bracket, which basically just checks to see if the input list of intervals has anything, and if it doesn't, the method just returns the empty list, indicating that there's literally nothing and there's no merged intervals to return. Pretty self-explanatory. We then break down into this interval sort line here, and this is just the intervals list sorted in ascending order based on the first element or the start of each interval. And this sorting step is crucial for the merge list process because it ensures that overlapping intervals are adjacent to each other on that sorted list. And then we break down again into this line below it, this merged intervals, which just initializes a new list that we call merged with the first interval from the sorted list. And this will become the initial merged interval. So we then go into a for loop, and this for loop does a couple of things, but overall it iterates through the sorted intervals, starting from the second interval, so index 1, up to the last. So this 4 ion range, 1 length intervals. Then we go inside of the loop, and it retrieves the current interval being considered. Which would be the current interval equals interval I. It also retrieves the last merge interval from the merged list, and that's going to be that last merged interval, which just determines by comparing the start of the current interval, which is that current interval 0, with the end of the last merged interval. So we then see, if there is an overlap, the code just updates the end of the last merged interval to be the maximum of the current end of the current interval. So this just effectively merges two intervals together. So we have that last merged, and we have the max of the last merged with the current interval. So if there is no overlap between the current interval and the last merged interval, then the current interval is appended like to the merged list because it represents a new non-overlapping interval. So after iterating through all of those intervals and merging the overlapping ones, the merge list contains the merged intervals, and then that returns the result. So this method just essentially takes the list of intervals, sorts them based on their start values, and iterates through them to merge them in an overlapping pattern. That's the SparkNotes version of this. So I hope this makes sense. Again, I can go into more depth on this if you guys want me to, or have a more intricate explanation on why I was thinking what I was thinking through here. But the solution works, and that's what's important. And considering that this started off with a loose horse running off behind me, I am not complaining about the answer. So this code is in the GitHub repo in the video description down below. You guys are more than welcome to fork and clone, make it better, make it worse, have some fun, learn something new, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching.